Around the world, around the...
All right, it is the Colm Lucy Breakfast Show. It's Radio Nova. Let's go around the world because our next guest is from Cork but lives in Queens in New York City, where he works for the local paper and does an Irish-American themed podcast called The Long Haul. And we all know The Long Haul. We've all had a point there. The city that never sleeps has seen a spike in the coronavirus recently, and restrictions will begin again today across New York. He's gotten up early first in the lead up to Thanksgiving Day tomorrow to chat to us. So welcome to the show, Michael Dorgan. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, listen,
Welcome.
I suppose the scary thing is we've seen numbers in New York City skyrocketing again, coronavirus. What is going on?
We are spiking again, yeah. And just outside my apartment here, we have there's a medical centre, and for the last 2 or 3 weeks, the lines every morning have been a block long.
Wow.
And as people who have travelled to New York, a block is quite long.
Yeah.
So we've a spike again. Infection rates are just gone above 3%, which is the kind of the cut-off rate. And last week, our mayor, Bill de Blasio, shut down the schools. So so parents are up in arms because of that.
Yeah.
And Thanksgiving is coming up Thursday as well. And the mayor, the mayor looks after the city, and then the Governor Cuomo is in charge of the state. And he's trying to restrict Thanksgiving dinners to 10 people Thursday, and there's a bit of pushback by a lot of sheriffs here, so we're just going to see how that plays out. But yeah, it's been quite a roller coaster year here this year with COVID. Of course, we were the epicenter of the COVID pandemic back there in April, May.
Yeah.
It went down over the summer, and it's spiking now again. So
And is it just close contact, bars open, restaurants open, New York being this like very high melting pot? Is that what it is?
Yeah, well, like New York, as you know, is a bustling city, one of the biggest cities in the world, and it's just come to an absolute standstill.
Oh.
A couple of weeks ago, they allowed for 25% capacity indoor dining, and a lot of bars have decided to remain closed, and so there's talk now that the bars could be shut again now next week. So we're going into a very difficult period.
And are people wearing masks?
People are wearing masks, yeah. I've noticed that earlier on in the year there was a bit of a reluctancy, but now, people are wearing masks. But even we can see the subway from our apartment here, and the subway is jammed, but everyone's wearing masks, so I'm not sure, is that going to help matters or not? You know, people are wearing a mask, but they're still jamming into subway cars.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
So Thanksgiving on Thursday then. So what were you saying? Only 10 people allowed?
Yeah, that's the guidelines from Governor Cuomo. He's capping 10 people in a household for Thanksgiving. But of course, there's a kind of a back and forth then between people who will adhere to it, and then people who were saying that it's probably unconstitutional.
Yeah.
So we're not. And there's a couple of sheriffs already have said that they won't enforce it, because it's very hard to enforce something like that, to go around and knock on people's doors and make sure that there's 10 people there. I don't think it's going to work, but they are the guidelines coming down from the governor anyway.
Well, at least he's not sweating hair dye yet. That's really the bad sign.
Not yet.
Now, there's positives and negatives with all of these lockdowns. And I know for you, one of the positives is there's no tourists around, so you can go and see all New York without queuing.
Yeah.
Yes, I've been living here for 2 years, and my wife has been bugging me non-stop to do these tourist things, but the lines have been just too big with tourists in town. But the last couple of months, we've seen done a lot of touristy things, because there's no tourists in town. We did the 9/11 museum here last Sunday, which is very it's very moving. But usually there's lines all around the World Trade Center, and we just walked into it. There was no lines, and we did some Christmas shopping in Macy's Saturday. Usually it's anarchy in there, jumping over people, trying to get some shopping done for Christmas and Thanksgiving, but all calm and peaceful in there. So it has its benefits to people who are living here, but certainly we do miss the tourists.
Yeah.
Yes. And then, of course, one of the negatives is the undocumented workers. So what'll happen there then for people?
Yes, that's a major aspect, of course, that people who have been out of work, or American citizens here, would have been entitled to unemployment benefit. But there's so many people here that are undocumented. A lot of course, Mexican, Southern Americans working in the bars, in the in the kitchen areas, and of course our own Irish who would be working in the bars as well as bar people, and they would have been on quite good money here. A bar worker here is on quite good money in New York, and you're getting a lot of tips every week. So they were probably clearing well over $1,000 a week easily, going to absolutely nothing and have nothing to fall back on. And so that has been that's been tragic.
And they couldn't leave.
And I know some they couldn't leave. Well, some of them, I know from talking to people in the bars, some of them have stayed here for long enough. For the last couple of months, they can't go on, and some of them are just deciding to leave and go home. And when you make that decision to go home, you're never getting back in here again.
Wow.
So it's...
Okay, well, listen, it's good talking to you. Just commiserations for a Cork man having been beaten by Tipperary in the Munster final. I don't know if you got to see it.
I did. I was up. That's one thing about living here. You get up very early for the GA matches. I was up at 8:30 Sunday morning to watch it. We went from a high the week before beating Kerry to...
I know.
But I don't think anyone could take it away from Tipperary for the occasion.
What a shocker! We never knew Tipperary could kick a ball. We always thought they could just hit a sliotar. But anyway, they proved everyone wrong, and we look forward to that. Listen, always good. Thank you so much. Check out the podcast, The Long Haul. Michael Durgan, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. All right.
Look after yourself.
Thanks for having me.
Happy Thanksgiving. Yes.
Yes. Happy Thanksgiving Day.
Thanks. Thanks, guys.